Okay, this is W5 Lima Foxtrot Lima in the spacecraft Columbia, and we're just coming down the Mississippi Valley right now, clear as a bell, and I can see the whole river up and down, trying to take pictures at the same time as run the ham station here. So those of you who can hear me, I'll just stay on the air a few more seconds and then stand by for your calls. W5, I've got to take a picture here though. W5 Lima Foxtrot Lima spacecraft Columbia is standing by for about a minute and a half here for your signals. Go ahead.
Time chat with them. They may even have a question for you guys later, you know. But anyway, we're here today at Hamfest, Hamvention 2009, and we have W5 LFL Owen Garriott. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it out. And we have of course, Richard Garriott here. He's W5 KWQ, very close to my call letters. Let me just start to say, 25 years ago, Owen was the first one, I believe, to take ham radio into space.
Sure.
And I heard you when you passed over Memphis, Tennessee.
Very good.
We didn't have computers back then, basically, but I had an old TV and a ham shack, and we had the NASA channel on satellite, and I watched it. You came over Houston, you came over Memphis, and you went over New York. And I thought, man, this guy is moving. And I heard you. I lost you when you got above, and I heard you in New York, and you were gone. That's the only time I ever heard you.
Miles per hour as we were flying by, the same speed Richard has been flying last month, and it came back by many times, so I'm sorry I didn't hear you, didn't have a chance to talk on another occasion.
Well, we'll talk someday. And you know, and let me get to Richard here. I got very interested in satellite work and working the space station about a year ago. And the last few months I've been working the space station, and it was a challenge, let me tell you, you know. Because you guys aren't always on. I'm sure you're busy doing things up here. But I would set the clock. I'd get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go up here. Oh, man, they're not on, you know. And I did that for a couple months. I heard Mike a few times. He talked to a lot of people. 2 days before Charles came down on the shuttle, I made contact with someone in the crew. I made contact with Charles in the shuttle. And after that, I'm resting right now.
Yeah.
But, Richard, you followed your father 25 years later, took ham radio up here and talked to a lot of people, and I know you did, and I wish I had talked to you, but I just wasn't on then.
Yeah, I actually talked to you, on my logbook I have 518 two-way QSOs, and I transmitted hundreds, maybe even thousands of slow-scan TV images, and I'm sure I got a lot more than 500 if I could only read my own notes or transcribe notes better. And of course, a bunch more people heard me, you know, just on the downlink as well. So it was, I thought, not only a good success from hopefully from people's perspective on the ground, but I can say from my perspective on orbit, what an amazing thing, opportunity I had to become a member of this ham radio community. Where prior to my flight, I had very little direct ham exposure. It's only been, I have more contacts from space than I do have from the ground. So it was a great introduction to ham radio.
Well, that's great. Hey, you're also, your background. Well, first let's get into how you got up here.
Yeah.
You didn't ride the space shuttle up here. You didn't. I don't know if that's the easy way or the hard way. Okay.
Yeah,
I would personally like some of wheels that land, but you went up in the Soyuz,
which I actually think is the safer way to go right now.
Think so?
I think the statistics bear out that the Soyuz is the safest and most cost-effective way to get to space right now.
And you came back the same way.
Absolutely. In fact, I land on the land in a Soyuz, so it's under parachute in a capsule, but then you ka-wham on the ground at about 20, 30 miles an hour in a 6,000-pound vehicle. So it's a good thump.
Pretty good jolt there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, talk to us real quick about your background. You're in gaming, Lord British,
like
and what's the other name? Lord British and
General British is
British.
Exactly, the other variant.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was really funny because when I was a kid, of course, growing up with a NASA astronaut father, NASA was our family doctor. And when I was a kid, a teenager, one of the NASA doctors said, "Hey, Richard, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your bad eyesight means you will never be a NASA astronaut."
Really?
And as opposed to kind of giving up on the possibility, I said, well, if I can't go with NASA, I'm going to have to make a private space industry, which sounds like a pretty major undertaking. But of course, when you're that young, you don't realize how hard that's going to be. So with all the money I've made in computer games, I've invested in companies that have tried to make it possible for private citizens to go to space, frankly, so I could go. But the side effect is we've been able to send other people, and now we've got a whole industry of suborbital vehicles and orbital vehicles that are now being built that hopefully will not allow me to go back to space, but hopefully let all the rest of us get a chance to go.
Sure, sure. And Owen, you're actually a scientist, right?
That was my original profession. However, once you join NASA, you become more of a generalist, so you have to represent other professional scientists in a variety of disciplines. So I've enjoyed being a generalist, and so I would rather identify myself that way than being as a scientist in any particular area.
Well, hey, I got one question for you guys, and then if you've got just a minute, we'll see if anybody around the world has a question. But, you know, I'm hearing that, you know, this new machine, and I mean, I love the space program, but I hear there's this new machine that converts the urine to drinking water. And I guess my question is, how do you know when it's not working right?
Well, they check it very carefully in a variety of different ways to make sure everything that you eat or drink is perfectly acceptable in terms of quality. So I'm confident that whatever they put in the drinking bottle is going to be good.
Well, and I tell you, I'm sure you're prepared for everything up there. You're a mechanic and a plumber and astronaut, everything, you know. Just another quick question. Before each of you guys took off, did you sleep that night? Let me tell you, I've been thinking about this interview today, and we've had lots of technical difficulties today. And I'm sweating right now. It's been bad, but the interview's going to be good, I think. My question to you, or my statement is, I stayed awake all night last night. Okay, what about this question? How are they going to answer this? What should we talk about? You know, those kind of things. And I was thinking, oh, I need to put the fuse in there, or I need to reset this, or I need to do that. And I guess, do you stay awake at night before the trip thinking, you know, what happens if this, or I have to do this, or make sure I do that? Or, you know.
Well, you know, I haven't ever heard him answer this question either, so it'll be interesting to see if we differ. But in my case, you know, because it's really important to have everything go right, you have rehearsed every detail over and over and over again. And that's true, frankly, you've wrapped up all of the, what I'll call necessary training, a couple of weeks prior to the actual launch. And so for me, the 2 weeks prior to launch were actually very relaxing. You're in there winding down, doing a little exercise, getting a couple of final briefings, but, you know, watching them roll the vehicle out to the launch pad. But I found it to be quite a relaxing time. I was, just due to what I call excitement level, I was using a sleep aid periodically during those ramp-up days just to make sure I was well rested. But I was very calm and well prepared the morning of the launch.
How about you, Owen?
I would have to answer almost the same. It was not a problem getting sleep the night before on either of my flights. And it's possible, I can't remember, I might have used half a sleeping pill or something like that, because I'm sensitive to those things. I don't really never take them. And so slept very well.
Well, great, great. And let's see, I had another question for you real quick. So you actually went up.
Houston, we have a problem.